Hello, I don't know whether you can see me. I'm filming this blind, or got my glasses on as well, but basically I'm I'm making a video about the Labour Party haven't won a big majority at last night's, this morning probably finish as well, the count and everything. And it seems like Labour have 400 seats as opposed to 115 from the Conservatives, and then there's some other parties that are quite large as well, like the Liberals, 67, and one or two others. The Green Party got 4 seats instead of 1. Now, I make no secret of that I really support proportional representation, but I think Labour, to be totally up to them because they're in power, but I think it would be a noble thing to do if they counted up what percentage of the British vote that they had. For instance, that the Labour got 400 seats and the Conservatives 115. But this was as a result of Labour having 35% of the votes and Conservatives having 25 and the others less. I think the Liberals were about 17 or something like that. So I wondered if the Labour, when there's in such a position of power, it would be gracious of them to say, look, we have got 400 seats, but in actual fact ononly 35% of the British public voted for us, and so to be absolutely fair with the proportion of people who were in favour of Labour, it would be good of them to count their votes slightly less valuable than the Conservatives, because they'll have more of them anyway, sort of thing. And so rather than every single MP that votes in the House of Commons being the same and their vote counted the same, make it equal to the percentages that they're representing of the country that voted for them, sort of thing. So basically every every Labour MP would have a value of 35%, and then the Conservatives would have a value of 25%. So when it came to a vote, it would be a bit more like the British public had voted for, because 35% wanted Labour, 25% had want Conservatives, and the gap between the two would be filled in by the smaller parties who could then be involved in making decisions, because otherwise Labour could say, well, we've got 400 votes, it doesn't really matter what the rest of you say, we're going to push this through. But I think if they believe in fairness, and obviously the Conservatives could have done this as well if they'd been in favour of proportional representation, it would be a good example to set for the actual votes that the British public made and the percentages of who they voted for, to be taken into account of this way. And Labour would still have a majority, but I think it would make the voting process a little bit more fair, because it would be a bit more of a proportional representation acknowledgement, really, that the percentage of people who'd voted for Conservative and Labour and Liberal and the smaller parties, it would encourage them to sort of represent the percentage of people who voted for their particular party, rather than Labour saying, well, the Conservatives didn't think about anything like this at the previous election, sort of thing, and they just went ahead and did what they wanted, sort of thing. And I think if Labour set a better example and somehow changed Parliament so that percentages of people who voted for that particular party rather than the actual number of seats they had. That would be, it would help the people who believe in proportional representation, and it would also encourage people in any forthcoming elections to have a fairer system of voting rather than first past the post, because Britain's one of the fairest countries out, sort of thing, and it ought to be setting a good example to other democracies in inverted commas and non-democracies all over the world. Anyway, thanks for listening, and got to answer my phone now because it's my day job. Bye.